Alright, we're going to get this official here. Thanks to, get a few thanks at the first out. To Dictor von Doomcock for the shout out there. Get a little mutual admiration society going here. And hopefully we can do a little cross pollination or two subscriber bases and get us both over that 1,000 subscriber mark and hopefully get some real bucks going here. And things are going on. And on the concordance front, by the way, just to send a bunch of files off to Bijo of what we got so far. It's basically the general skeleton of the beast itself and various pieces parts that fit along there. And she's going to take a run at it and get it laid out the way she finally wants it, because every version, I think, has never been quite right. It's like probably not since the original '68 version, and then they were limited by the fact of what it can do with a typewriter and cut and paste stuff. So work progresses, and we're moving on here. So let's get on with the first, really, of our fan film reviews, starting off with Star Trek Continues, and we're going to handle the first three little vignettes they did first off. Kicking off, first one really picks up in the tail end of Turnabout Intruder. I mean, literally in the middle of the scene. I mean, we're talking 4 minutes 41 seconds of mission statement here. Picking up literally the last 2 minutes of Turnabout Intruder, when the transference between Kirk and Janice Lester breaks down. And aside from an extra shot of the ship, which credit to Gabe Kerner for that one, you got the Kirk coming out of a whoa, and then Janice going, "I've lost to the captain," on that whole thing, and on through as scripted up to her life could have been as full as any woman's, if only. And then in the original episode, they go into the turbo lift, cut to the flyby, and credits. Well, now we follow them into the turbo lift. Chris Doohan gets to show off how well he can do his dad. And we got a little bit of Spock in there going there. And on up to the bridge. The lighting of the turbo lift is a little off. It's like the fluorescent lights. I think that's really like technical figure. And besides, it's like 20 seconds in the turbo lift, and that's about it, I think. We get onto the bridge. Perfect recreation. Lighting is pretty set and all that. We got it's right at the starting block, so it's easy to ignore it, and it's just a few seconds. So, but back to the bridge, perfect lighting and all. And here, it helps to know the original episode pretty well if you don't. And sadly, there are people who haven't watched it, but you watch that last episode because you understand why Sulu and Chekhov and Uhura are looking a little suspiciously at Kirk, because just before, when he was up there, he just had a hissy fit, as about ready to plan the execution of Janice Lester, Spock, and Scotty and all that. So they play it perfectly. It's like, is this Kirk back again normal? And the fact that Spock is with him is a vote of confidence, and just the way he's acting, okay, yeah, he's back. Especially when he points out, "Yes, we got a little rendezvous with a paper captain, don't we?" "Yes, Captain," that's it. And the only quibble on that one is Grant Imahara. He tries a little too hard to sound like George Takei, and it's like, he should have just said that his voice is fine, but he doesn't see going for that George Takei baritone. Oh my! No, just read the lines, okay? And another little nitpick here, and it's very, very minor, is Kim Stringer as Uhura. She's played Uhura with that New Voyages. She's used to it. They next just step and have the hairstyle match the way it was in the end of the episode. So you're picking at the end of the episode. I mean, at that point, there were no bangs. It was all swooped up and everything. And whereas we get back on the bridge, and she's got like a kind of second season do with the bangs and everything. Now maybe, and a little bit of frustration. But actually, I don't think Uhura was even in that episode. Now that I think about it. Yeah, she wasn't actually. Robert Bell-Davin was on Angela, her character. She was working in communications. She wasn't in that episode. So actually, that's a dodge I hadn't thought of. This is the first time we've seen her this entire episode. So okay, fine. But at this point, it's like we have Chuck Cooper as McCoy re-entered the scene. You've seen him earlier doing the scripted line of, taking Dr. Coleman and the Genocider off. But now he's back on the bridge. What'd I miss? And then, okay, he's got a handle on McCoy. And a little more Top Habercorn Spock. It's early, but he does a serviceable job with what little he's got to work with here. But, but Vic Mignogna definitely has a handle on Kirk. He's channeling Shatner without, doing a Shatner. He knows how Kirk reacts, how he delivers lines, and he's got it down. So we got, with ordering the rendezvous with Potemkin, Sulu and Chekhov are satisfied. He's back. Okay, let's go. And nothing else. This proves, that, they're up to the task, and they're picking literally up where the series left off, and we're going on down the road here. Now, second vignette they did, You've Got the Con. A little 3-minute, 38 seconds of a bit of lighthearted fun on the bridge. Sulu, Uhura, and Chekhov. Little time on their hands, nothing to do. It's the night shift. And now we finally get Wyatt Lenhart gets a chance to stake more of a claim on Chekhov. Because he didn't really get to do much, on that vignette, look and hit buttons. But the whole thing with Kalbizar, he's playing. And is the chair comfortable? It looks comfortable. A little behind the scenes thing, apparently it really wasn't comfortable at all, actually, in real life. Because actually what they used was a brand of waiting room chairs that were popular at the time. If you dig, you can still kind of find them, but now they're real pricey because everyone knows about what they are and what you can do with them, so they're kind of hard to get a hold of for anything resembling a reasonable price. But yeah, there's actually the bulk of with the wooden parts on the seat on there, that was actually for like waiting rooms. And they just built the box around it with the lights and stuff. But yeah, Kim Stringer gets to show off a little more Uhura and a little playfulness. We haven't seen that of Uhura since really first season. Because they really kind of took that out and let her, just hailing frequencies open, Captain. She didn't get to play around much after first season. And then O'Hara's still trying to channel George Takei. But otherwise, he plays it perfectly. He's just still trying to go for that Takei baritone. And it's like, just, come on. It's distracting, okay? From an otherwise fine performance. And of course, as they're bouncing around from, you try the chair, then you try the chair. And then in comes Captain Kirk to spoil the fun. But you can tell by his reaction, he probably did the same thing when he was a lieutenant on the Farragut. So then, all of you would make great captains one day. And so, we got, and the thing is, whenever anyone goes to one of these recreation of the sets, or even just looking at the page, all eyes go to that chair. So, yeah, what happens. So, it's perfectly understandable. Yeah, and everyone wants to be on that chair. If I know what I'm doing, if I ever get to one of these set tours, if I get to, we get to New York, and I'm on the Ticonderoga set, yeah, I'm going for the chair, okay? I might play with the helm later on, but first I'm sitting in that chair, and I'm spinning around a little bit. Now, then we got the third vignette, a little something called Happy Birthday, Scotty. It's not really established if it's actually his birthday, it's just because, they got, again, it's the shortest one of the two, 2 minutes, 42 seconds. And this is the first shot we get of their transporter room. Which again, perfect recreation, at least on the camera. It looks like they may be off an inch or two here and there, but on camera it looks perfect. And also they get to show off how they've duplicated the transporter effect with the sparklies. And again, they pretty much nailed it there. And we get to show off also the new hand phasers. They're still pretty consistent, but they're slightly stylized, a little fancier here and there, but still very consistent. And also the fact that they're supposed to be new. You don't have to match up exactly. And Vic gets to show off his green wraparound tunic, which I'm not sure he had quite right. He was kind of riding up a little bit, because I'm pretty sure the point's supposed to be in front, and it's kind of... Anyway. And this is also the last we get to see of Chuck Hooper for a while, as McCoy, for things I'll probably get into later when we get to the... When we get Pilgrim of Eternity, the first full episode. But yeah. Still doing great job. Dad would be proud, I think, because he's got Scotty down. And actually, he's got Scotty appropriate to the period, because later on, Jimmy Doohan was doing Scotty a little on the sing-songy side. And if you look back at the series, Scotty was not a sing-songy. It was a pretty straight delivery. And you didn't have to go up and down. It's almost bordering on Irish almost in spots. But It was pretty flat there. But this one's, Doohan's got it. That's another little minor quibble as far as going back to the hairstyles in the first vignette from Turbo Intruder. Doohan has got Chris Doohan's got the hair swept back, like Scotty did most of it. But at this point in the series, Jimmy was just kind of a buzz cut. I think of kind of a Caesar cut almost. But he had problems with it, figure out how to do his hair. He's always changing back and forth away. So again, minor quibble. And again, another note: Gabe Kerner doing the flyby shots of the Enterprise in these vignettes. Pretty serviceable model and good shot, and also clearly didn't do the common mistake of trying to make the model 947 feet long. He did it the size of a proper effects model, and then that is an important point. Whenever you're doing one of these things, you don't want to make a full size ship because it's not going to look this right. It's not going to look the same as if you're trying to duplicate those original effects shots. Because then you gotta line them up completely differently. You gotta do it like you're shooting a real ship, and that's just the angles will be off. So you do what Doug Drexler did when they took over the job for most of the regular run of this, is you do an 11-foot long model, and you do a little research and find out what kind of camera lens you have. Because these programs, you tell what kind of camera lens virtual you do it, and that's how you duplicate these shots. And they've done great jobs on these. But that's the big thing. You don't do a full-size ship, okay? No one's gonna want because you're not gonna be shooting inside a full-size ship. You're not gonna do a walking tour of this, You're just doing flybys, okay? Stuff like that. So that's where we are leading up to the first full episode, and we'll dig into that next time here. So, as always, PayPal, Patreon down below, so we can keep this going. And so I can stop annoying my friends and their relatives, mainly our friends, for lunch money here, because we need to get this up to a viable business model here. And we'll talk at you later.